All right, and we should be live. Welcome, everyone. We are joined today with special guest Frosted Caribou, and you've got the usual scrubs, myself, Swam, and Sloth.
Oh,
Hello.
Sloth is so serious. Hello.
Hello, Moto. Serious Sloth forever.
I am.
Yeah.
I've been accused of being serious before. I'll plead guilty.
I think you should definitely go by Serious Sloth from now on.
The serious sloth. New
Speaking
Twitch
of-
name confirmed.
Oh man,
Yeah.
no, I could not read. Speaking
Yeah,
of,
the awful.
speaking of sloths, though, fun fact: today is actually International Sloth Day.
Yay! We celebrated it in my chat.
Shout out to sloths everywhere.
Just spam sloth.
Oh, get wrecked, Joey.
Mod pyramid. Hacks.
Welcome.
I call rigged.
Feels bad, man. Welcome, Caribou, to the third episode of the Darkmoon podcast.
Dude, thank you guys so much for having me. Oh, rip.
Absolutely. I'm gonna assume that everyone in chat already knows you, but for those who do not, can you take a moment to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I don't know some of these people. I guess I'll do my usual when someone raids me. My name is Shelby, but I'm Frosted Caribou as well. I'm just a variety streamer on Twitch, and yeah, I just have my boo crew is my community, and we just chill and play games and have fun.
And what kinds of games do you play?
Oh, well, I like to say we're like a huge variety stream, but lately we have not been too much of a variety. A lot of Age of Empires 2. I don't know if a lot of people in here know that game. Wink, wink. But that's like a late 90s RTS, and then we also play Dark Souls 3, Skyrim, Subnautica, City Skylines, a lot of German simulators. Pretty much anything under the sun, to be honest. But yeah, it's so nice to meet you guys. For anyone I don't know, how are you? Hello. Yeah, full-time AoE, exactly. Pretty much. That's like our main game. We play it probably like, I would say at least like 5 or 6 times a week, and I stream usually 6 out of 7 days a week. So yeah.
what
So
got you
intense.
into AoE?
I used to play it as a kid with my family, and like obviously I was super noob up until like earlier this year, really, and I didn't even know there was a community behind this game or an actual strategy to this game or anything. I kind of treated it like a farming simulator, and until I think Gally was the first person. Gally's like member of our community. He was the first person I met that actually was like, "Hey, you know, there's like build orders to this game and such." And I was like, "No, I had no clue." And he sent me a few videos, and that's when we started actually playing a little bit more seriously. And I got some of the bigger casters in my stream, the bigger AoE casters, and I just got into the community from there on and checked out more streams. And I've kind of been somewhat of a big female streamer of the community, I guess.
I always kind of tried to be like a peaceful farming village whenever I played as a kid.
Yeah, that's the best way to
either-
play. Exactly.
And then just rule everyone with the trade market.
Speaking of that,
Either that or all your base are belong to us.
have you ever played Stardew Valley?
Yeah, I have actually. I think we played it twice on my stream before. That's like literally a farming sim, isn't it?
What'd you think of it?
Yep.
Oh, I liked it a lot. It made me it was so chill that I was like extremely sleepy playing it. If I played it when I was like more upbeat during the daytime, because I think that was when I was nighttime streaming, so I was a lot more sleepy playing that game. But I love it. I love that game. It reminded me of Harvest Moon. Like
Yeah.
Harvest Moon was like my jam back in the day.
It
I
would
had
be cool
Harvest
if-
Moon on my cube, my GameCube.
It would be cool if you could like invade other worlds and stuff, and it like put Dark Souls elements or something in there, and like invade other farms and stuff.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet.
The,
And that you'd just be like a tyrant of Stardew Valley.
I would just go cow tipping
Oh my
on my
god,
rival's farm.
that's awful.
The multiplayer update is apparently coming out pretty soon, so that's pretty hype.
Yeah, I've actually played the mod. They have a mod right now out for Stardew multiplayer, and I've played that, and it works pretty well. So I've played with my brother and some of his friends multiplayer Stardew. It's very, very nice.
I have a question. This is very serious. Why
Oh my.
is Slothonaut the greatest ship, and why?
Sloth. Oh my god. I feel like this question was somewhat rigged by someone I may or may not know.
I feel like that animal hybrid would be terrifying.
That would be extremely terrifying. I just imagine like a giant, like a sloth on a deer body, except it has sloth arms still. So it's kind of like a centaur, except a sloth head and arms.
I'm picturing like a caribou, but with sloth fur instead of like caribou hair,
God.
and just kind of like a sloth's face, and then like you said, like the
Yeah.
legs are sloth arms.
Have
Dude, I
any
just-
of you played House of the Dead with the giant sloth?
I know, but that
Oh,
sounds really
there's
interesting.
there's a giant sloth in House of the Dead, and it's fucking awesome. That's what I think of whenever I think Slothonaut.
Sounds terrifying.
There actually used to be a species of giant land sloth that were bigger than modern day elephants during the last ice age.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
I just imagine mine being like giant, like a giant Godzilla, except Slothaboo, just knocking down skyscrapers.
I can
That's
live with that.
awful. We're just like terrorizing New York City, me and Sloth, together, merged into. I guess it'd be like our baby, right?
It would be like Fusion from Dragon Ball.
Oh, exactly. There you go.
I'm
I
a
feel
weeaboo,
like-
sorry.
I feel like it would be way more chill though, right? Because like you can't combine two really chill people and just have like some angry angry monster come out of that. I don't know.
Yeah,
And-
that's true. Unless it was like a mutated baby, like the opposite of us.
The radiation
Yeah,
got to it.
exactly.
Feels bad. One question that I really like to ask people, because I think it's a really good question, but for some reason I don't get an opportunity to ask people it very often. But how did you start your career as a streamer slash content creator? Like what inspired you to start making content, or what like brought you into that community and really made you want to be a part of it?
Oh man. I feel like it's kind of like two separate questions to me because my career for streaming only started in May of this year, but I actually started streaming last year. April 27th, I think, was the first day I ever streamed. And it's kind of interesting too because like I've always been a gamer like my whole life, but I never heard of Twitch. Like I never knew Justin TV was a thing. I didn't know Twitch was a thing. Um, and then like one day I stumbled upon like an article about like a female streamer who was kind of like I guess making waves in like the Twitch world, and I was like, what is this streaming thing, you know? So I read through that article and I was like, whoa. And I went to Twitch and I like checked it out, and I spent like that entire night just watching streams. Like literally, I was living alone at the time, so it was like from like 7 p.m. at night until like 7 a.m. in the morning. I was just watching streams, and I was chatting. Like I just watched for a while, and then I started chatting in some, and I was just like, oh man, this is so cool. Like I love this interaction. I love being able to like see this person streaming and be able to talk to them instantly, and it was really cool. And at the time, like I didn't have any friends I was playing with. I was a console gamer, I was on Xbox, so I didn't have any friends I was playing with at the time. So I was like, this would be a great way for me to make some online friends to play Xbox with because I have no one else to play with. So I that was my thought process behind it. I never thought of it like, oh, I want to be like the next big streamer. I want to be like, I never had that kind of perspective on it. I literally was like, if I go into this and make a few friends to play with, like I'll be happy, you know? And it actually hindered me a lot earlier in the day because like I treated my stream a little bit too personally, and like it was like I had all of my like personal information on there, or not my last name or anything like that, but like I had a personal Snapchat, a personal Instagram, and people would like follow me on things. And oh, sorry guys, I have two dogs visiting me, but anyway, people would follow me things, and I would be like, oh, this is actually getting really creepy and stalkery. So I had to um I had to kind of make that distinction, like, oh, am I going to be like just a friendly casual stream, or I'm going to get more serious with my stream? And that's when I started streaming like a lot more hours, and I changed like everything to more business related and oriented and such. And I mean, it still wasn't a big thing until I went full time this year. And ever since then, it's been like, I've just it's been insane. Like it's grown like incredibly amazingly. Like anything I like better than anything I could have imagined. So it's been awesome. But I literally I started streaming just to make friends, and I mean I've done that like that and then some even from here on out. Like I went to make friends, and I feel like I've made like family, and it's been awesome.
Yeah, I'd say you've definitely exceeded your own expectations for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's only getting bigger and better, so it's crazy to think about where it's going to be in like a year from now.
So, what were the first couple of games that you started streaming with? You mentioned you were playing on Xbox. Was that Xbox One or
Yeah, it was
360?
Xbox. It was Xbox. Well, both actually. I had both consoles, but yeah, after I watched all those streams, I was like, okay, I want to do this, but obviously I didn't have a PC. I only had my Xbox, and I didn't even have a Connect for it. So I actually went out and bought a Connect, and I was streaming the next day off of my Connect. So my mic and my camera was my Connect, and the first game I played was some like free Xbox game where you like attack zombies. And then and then after that, kind of the games I mained was Destiny. I played a lot of Destiny, and I also played Viva Pinata. I don't know if you guys ever played that. That was a fun one. And then Outlast. Outlast really got me out there into a lot of communities I'm still in today. Well, actually, yeah, it was the original Outlast, and then because I only have a second one now. And then what was the other game? Dark Souls. Dark Souls 3.
On Xbox One?
Yeah.
Nice.
What got you into Dark Souls?
Oh man, a streamer I actually watched. He streamed Dark Souls 3, and I had no clue what Dark Souls even was. Like I was like, what is this game? And he was playing it, and I had a whole different perception of what the game was, but I was like, this looks really challenging, and this looks like really super chill. So I want this game, and I contemplated it for a while, like which one I was gonna get. And he was like, "Yeah, you should start out with 3. I think you'd like it." So I was like, "Okay." And I bought it, and I did a blind run through, and that's why I think I grew most of my community up Dark Souls 3. I did a blind run through of it, and I had no clue what to expect, and it was ridiculous. And I think people stuck around because I was so persistent with what I was doing. Like I was like, all right, I'm gonna beat this boss. And they're like, okay, but you have like the starter sword plus 2, and you have like 4 Estus and you're not wearing a shirt or any good armor. Like, how are you going to beat this boss? And I was like, I don't know, but I'm going to do it. And that's how I spent 26 hours on Pontiff. But like, people stuck around and they're like, damn, I cannot believe this chick is still trying to beat this boss. And I didn't rage the whole time. I have no clue how. But yeah, I think that's really what drew me into the game, was the challenge. And I was just like literally trying to run through to the next boss over and over again. So I ended up beating the game like without any armor, and like I think I was only wearing pants, and I had the starter sword still and like 7 Estus or something crazy.
I think that of all the Dark Souls games, I think Dark Souls 3 is probably the most friendly for new players to get into. I mean, obviously, I was never able to play Dark Souls 3 blind, but like looking back at it, I feel like it gives you a lot more information early on that's useful. And in Dark Souls 1, you're kind of just like pushed into the world with absolutely no direction whatsoever. And I think Dark Souls 3 is just a little bit more linear at the start of the game, which makes it easier to like start progressing.
Yeah, I would think so too.
But yeah, that sounds like I don't know, a rough situation to be in on Pontiff with only a +2 weapon and no good armor.
Yeah, that's why it took 26 hours.
It must have
But
felt
then,
really good when you killed him, though.
oh yeah, when I finally beat him, because I got close several times, and then it was like one of those situations where like you get really close one run, and then you just like set yourself back for the next like 10 runs. Like it was like, okay, I got almost. He had like 2 health left, and then fucking the next few runs, like I couldn't even get halfway. So it was rough. It was really, really challenging, but I was so happy when I finally beat it. And it was I literally like I played all night. I slept a few hours and I woke up and like just hopped right back on stream and like grinded this out for another like 3 hours, and I finally beat him.
Have you considered going back and playing any of the other Souls games, or maybe Bloodborne?
I actually did play Bloodborne. I borrowed a PS4 from one of my friends, and I played Bloodborne, and I beat the first boss. But then I had to return it. So Bloodborne was really interesting, but that is a game I feel like it would take me like 20 centuries to beat. I mean, I'd be happy to play it again. I thought it was an awesome game. Like, it was just amazing, but it would take me a really long time to beat. I just know that for a fact, because you actually have to collect vials, and that was what made it 10 times harder than Dark Souls, because you didn't have that like instant health once you restart, you know? Um, but yeah, I'm trying to get back to doing I'm actually going through Dark Souls 3 again now to get to the DLCs, because I want to beat both the DLCs.
The DLCs are really good.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, especially Ring City. I think Ring City is like my favorite content in all of Dark Souls. That DLC is just a real work of art. It felt like Dark Souls 3.5 to me. There were a lot of new mechanics and things in it that weren't really part of the vanilla game, and I feel like they just took everything a step further. So, and especially the some of the boss designs are really world class in my opinion. So I would definitely recommend going back and playing through those when you get the chance.
Yeah, definitely. They look super fun. They look really hard too. I actually played the first I beat the first boss in the first DLC. I called him Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson?
Yeah, I called him Liam Neeson. I would nickname like all the bosses, and he was by far Liam Neeson, because did you ever see The Grey with Liam Neeson? It was a movie, it was a film that he starred in.
I know of it. I haven't actually seen it, but I've heard good things about it. But
Yeah, it was a really good movie. But pretty much in that movie, I was gonna say I will try not to spoil it, but he's surrounded by like a bunch of wolves, and like um the end scene. I don't want to spoil the movie, but pretty much the boss in that game is Liam Neeson from The Grey, pretty much like to a T. It's perfect. Like it fits the plot so well.
Um, moving backwards a little bit. I know you mentioned that Age of Empires is pretty much like the main game that you play, and you
Yeah.
started playing it when you were a lot younger. Um, one question that I have, and I know that you've mentioned this on your stream previously, but
Okay.
what about Age of Empires separates it so much from other real-time strategy games for you? Like what is that X factor of it that makes you really enjoy it so much in comparison to other RTSs that are available?
Oh man. I think it's kind of a mixture between like the nostalgia of the game, which is something like I just have such good memories from playing this game, with my family and like with like not really knowing what to do, but being able to play this game and enjoy and have fun. It's like a lot to do with that, and then I would say a lot to do with the community surrounding it as well. Just the people I've met from the AoE community it's been insane. Like my stream has taken off so much from playing Age of Empires 2, which is something I literally never thought I would say. But the game itself, like I love the fact that it's like historical based. I mean, I was actually talking to someone, and like the perfect way they described it was like looking at history through a funhouse mirror, because you can have all these crazy battles that never actually made sense in history, like historical times, but all of the actual content of the game is based off history, and they actually play Age of Empires in like history classes in some elementary and high schools, because it's like that good of a game to be able to teach history and enjoy a game as well. And it's kind of just this really great feeling of building up an empire and trying to like have that and keep it standing and try not to get your castles knocked down, pretty much, which happened to me like 5 times today. My Doubt castles rip. But yeah, I would say it's more like it's just a combination of the nostalgia of the game, just the quality of the game. I mean, there's a reason there's such a huge community behind it still, and it's like 1997 graphics. You know what I mean? Like it's not that like crazy good quality wise if you're looking for like next gen um mechanics and graphics and such, but it's such a good game still, and like that's the reason why there's so many people behind it still. And I love that passion that I see in the community, and I just kind of like feed off of that. And my stream is a huge advocate of being able to like invite anyone from any skill level to play and have fun and be able to like get into that community, and not on like a completely pro level, because we're casual players of the game. And the AoE community you don't see that a lot. It's mostly just like you're pro or you're not, and if you're not pro, you're not playing. But my stream is kind of an outlet for people from any skill level to be able to play, which is something I really value a ton.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds like that's something that would really set you apart from other AoE streamers as well, I assume. You're the only one I watch, but that
Yeah.
is really cool. Have
Well,
you?
most of them are just casters or pro players, so
Sure. Have you tried playing any other real-time strategy games like StarCraft or
um,
Warcraft or anything like that?
the only other RTS I have played was StarCraft on my N64. So a lot of people didn't even know StarCraft was on N64, but that's the only place I've played it, and I enjoyed that too. But I never played the PC versions of it, so I'd be really interested to see how I would do with a different RTS
The
since I love
original
this one so much.
The original StarCraft is actually free for BattleNet a while ago. I think it might still be.
It's remastered. It's still free.
Yeah. So, nothing like free content.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I would actually love to try that out. I know Viper is one of the pro AoE players, and he's also like a pro StarCraft player as well. So, I mean, if you're good at RTS, you're gonna get the hang of it pretty quickly. You just have to be able to be familiar with the game and know your way around it, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't have that deep of a knowledge about RTS games or AoE or StarCraft specifically, but I definitely think that if you played either one of those games quite a bit and you moved over to the other one, a lot
Yeah.
of those skills would transfer over pretty easily.
Oh yeah, definitely. For sure. I mean,
Yeah.
just being able to like know the hotkeys and have like fast fingers. I mean, that's what you need pretty much.
Yeah, especially things like unit micromanagement and just
Yeah.
having the muscle memory to like do a lot of different keybinds at once, so you can make sure that your workers are doing what they're supposed to and have your buildings producing stuff all the time, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. For sure. Yeah, so it'd be interesting to try that out. I'm not like a huge that's the thing, like I'm not a big RTS player. The only one I got into was Age of Empires just because like I grew up very familiar with it. My dad is like a huge history buff, so he bought us like all the Age of Empires and we would play them together and it was like a family thing. So I don't think it really mattered that it was an RTS or not. It was like it was a history game and that's what he liked about it. So that's what we got into it and it was really fun. So it'd be weird to me to play a game that is not like Age of Empires, but it's an RTS. Like I really wonder how that would go.
I wanted to ask about Skyrim.
Yeah.
There's a Skyrim port that has motion controls coming out pretty soon. So I was wondering, have you looked into that at all?
Oh man, no, I haven't actually. So interesting thing about Skyrim is like I never played Skyrim. I know it's a very old game, but I just started playing it this year, and so I still haven't like I'm playing like the vanilla Skyrim, except I have one mod, and that's for my mount is a giant raccoon. His name is Dragoon the Raccoon. So like I am so noob to Skyrim. Like I want to play it through with only Dragoon and then play it through with like actual mods and be able to see what that world is like because I've heard it's just like super in depth and crazy for Skyrim as far as like the mods and settings go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that really rebalances the game and adds a lot of new content, and I think Bethesda games are pretty well known for their modability for the most part. And to be honest, from my perspective, like I can't really imagine playing one of those games without modding it really heavily.
Yeah. It's
there's
probably
just
really weird for you to think about. Sloth actually set me up with my Dragoon.
Yep, that was back when we first met.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bethesda games are kind of unique in that way that they're like so strongly associated with the modern community. I mean, there are still tons and tons and tons of people still playing Skyrim just because there are so many mods available for it, and the modding community is still so dedicated to providing new content for it and everything. And I like Skyrim is a great game in its own right. I think there are some problems with it if you are just playing the vanilla version, and mods really help you
Fix those
patch.
issues.
Yeah, fix those issues and like patch some of the holes in it and just rebalance things to make it a much better experience for the player in a lot of ways. I know for myself personally, when I play Bethesda games, I try to mod them as much as possible for immersion and things like that. So kind of expanding upon what's already in the game and then just taking it to that next level. So
Mhm.
like maybe there are more patrols of different factions in the world so that it feels more alive, or maybe you have more spells or like new weapons, things like that. So not like changing the game, but just improving it in certain ways.
That's interesting. I know that they have like and this always like blew my mind was like graphics mods to make the graphics different, like look different. And like that's something that I feel like I would really enjoy. I mean, I have mods for my Age of Empires to make that look better, and I like it a lot, so I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, definitely. There are some really cool graphics mods for Skyrim. Unfortunately, the main problem with at least the 2011 version is it runs on an older version of DirectX. I think it's DirectX 9. So you are limited to, I believe, 4 GB of VRAM, and a GTX 1080, which is what I have, has
Yeah.
8. So for me playing Skyrim, I can only get like half of the performance that my computer can actually put out.
Oh,
So that's
damn it.
a bit of a limitation. But I know that there are, at least for Fallout, I'm assuming for Skyrim as well, but there is an ENB mod that lets you use more VRAM. And I know that it works for Fallout 4. I don't know if it works for Skyrim, but that really helps you kind of like make more use out of a modern gaming rig.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Moving back to AOE a little bit, just in general, what is your favorite memory of playing Age of Empires, either recent or something from your childhood when you were first playing
Oh
it?
man. Um I guess recently this is kind of like bittersweet though, because my sister doesn't want to play with me anymore. Because I've outskilled her, and she doesn't play as much as me. Obviously, I have like 400 something hours in the game. So she like I'm gonna beat her pretty much every time, just because I know how to play the game now, and it's unfortunate. But so we did back when we were closer to the same level, and I was just getting like a little bit better than her. There was this match that we played where like I had destroyed everything of hers, up until she had like 5 like Cav scouts, and she was just taking these Cavalier scouts and just running around the map and making me like chase her down because it's a conquest game, so you have to defeat like all the military buildings and all of the military units. So like I was chasing around these 5 horses, and she would not resign the game. And this was like a 3-hour long plus game. So she was playing out my laptop. So she brought the laptop upstairs, and I'm live streaming, and I was just like, "Miss, resign the game." And she was like, "No, no, I'm not gonna resign. You can kill my dudes." And like I could not catch her guys. So so we had to like I like reached over to resign the game on my laptop, and she like freaked out and was like, "No, I'm not gonna resign the game." And we just like got into this like giant like it wasn't really a fight, but we were just like reaching for the laptop and like fighting each other on live on my stream, and it was ridiculous. But it was hilarious too. But it's funny to remember like times like that, because like I game with my family still, like we all still play Age of Empires, but I'm like so much better now that um they don't want to play with me anymore, so it's kind of sad to think about.
That's a
Uh,
great story.
I'd kind of like to talk about another thing as well.
Yeah.
Kind of switching topics. What would you say is the best advice for prospective streamers and YouTubers and content creators of all kinds?
You said the best advice?
Yes.
Oh man. I would probably say I know it sounds like super cheesy, but um like definitely enjoying what you're playing. I know a lot of people that kind of stream for different reasons. I mean, everyone streams for a different reason, but I feel like the only way you're going to make it through the tougher days, streaming or YouTube or any pretty much content creation where it's like it's an up and down like all the time. It's just like a roller coaster of constantly improving and then losing, subs or viewers or everything. Like it's so up and down, but the only thing that's gonna like help you get through that and help you experience those up moments, which kind of like just dominate all of the bad moments that you have, is if you really enjoy what you do and you can like honestly get up every day and want to be doing that. That's really that's the best advice I could give, is to like, you have to like, it has to be like in your blood. Like you have to know this is what you want and be able to put every single day going forward, like put yourself into this 100%.
And what do you think of the affiliate program?
I think it's awesome, actually, the affiliate program. The only thing I didn't like about the affiliate program was kind of the way they worded it when they launched it was a little bit like off-putting in a way where I was just like, ah, Twitch, come on. Like this is such a good program and it has so much potential to it, but the way they launched it and the way they worded it was like, oh, if you want to be, a part of the cool kids club, you have to sub to your favorite streamer, and I'm like, dude, it's so much more than subscriptions. Like it's so much more than that. You can support a channel in many other ways besides subscribing. And just the way they worded the announcement was like so cringeworthy because I don't know, it just makes it seem like, well, because the way Twitch is approaching it is like a business, of course. But the
Business is pretty cringy, in my opinion.
what's
Like
up?
just Twitch as a business, just like I don't know, it's just like a bunch of old white guys probably in a boardroom talking
Yeah,
about
that's
like
what I'm
how to be
saying.
hip and cool.
Exactly. And it's such an odd thing to think about because then like streamers and the actual content of Twitch and like the depth of it is like almost completely different than Twitch and like the kind of the employees behind Twitch, I would say. So you have this thing on one
Um,
hand, they're like, "Hey, let's launch this program and we'll make it seem like um, you know, like this is the cool thing to do to sub to your streams and like this is how you become a part of the cool kids club and now you guys can make money on all different levels and all this stuff that's just very business like, and I'm just like, whoa, that's kind of a cringy way to approach it because to me I'm like, whoa, this is awesome. Like now what we're like, now I can give emotes to my community, like things that they'll want to use. Like I have more resources to provide to my community, which is what I'm trying to do every day, is just give more back to my community for everything that they do for me. So it's kind of like a parallel weird dynamic between Twitch and casters. It's kind of weird. But I love it. I love the affiliate program. I think it's an awesome way to kind of give more resources to smaller streamers, and encourage more people to like want to stream more, definitely. But it also has a counter to that because when you lose subs or you have issues with it, and like you don't see growth, it can also discourage a lot of people. But I feel like in the end, if you're going to get discouraged by that, then you probably shouldn't be on Twitch, to be honest, because like I said, like if this is in your blood and this is what you want to do, you're going to keep going, like no matter what.
do you think there's I know Joey probably wants to ask if
Oh.
do you think there's too many or too little emotes?
For affiliates,
Yeah. Or
um
do you think that they should have the like $30 emote or whatever?
oh, I think that's kind of ridiculous. $30 for an email, my gosh.
That's what I was saying. Like, I understand when you're subscribing to a streamer, it's most importantly and firstly to support the streamer.
Yeah.
But a lot of people do it for that emote benefit, which is totally understandable. Like, you want to get
Yeah.
something out of your sub and be able to show your sub off to other people. And I just feel like asking for $24.99 for 3 emotes is a little steep. And I understand, like, some people just want to donate that money to the streamer and don't care
Yeah.
if they get emotes or not. But I just feel, and I know they want partners to feel extra special compared to the affiliates, because a lot of partners were upset
Yeah.
about the affiliate program when it was announced. I feel
Which
like a
I
lot
don't
of that has kind
understand.
of tamed down now. I feel like they're not as upset. But I just feel like the affiliate should only have that one $5 sub option and get 3 emotes for it, and just leave the $10 and $25 emotes to the partners who've like earned it, or make them feel that way.
I feel like I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I mean, obviously, again, it's like the parallels between casters and actual like Twitch is like they're looking at it from a business point of view. So, like, I have a lot of $25 subs in my stream, and I mean, that's only making them more money, you know. So it's like
Oh, exactly.
of course, they're gonna give that option. But yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. You know, when you look at a partnered streamer versus a affiliated streamer, as like, oh, who should I sub? Should I sub this partnered streamer that has 17 emotes or whatever, however many they have, or this affiliated streamer who has 3? Who are they gonna go with, sort of thing? Like, that definitely plays a part, I would say, but like you said, it's gonna be more of like, oh, they want to support the streamer, so they want to give this money anyway. But adding on to that, you could also just donate that money as well. You don't have to be subbed for that amount.
Yep.
It's kind of just for the sub points, really. But that's the thing, sub points don't mean anything when you're an affiliated streamer. Like, I have a lot of sub points, but I can't use them for anything besides, it helps me when I apply for partnership, that I have a lot of sub points, because
Yeah. And it's
makes
kind
a
of
difference.
annoying too, especially when I've looked at like the partnership list. And with the amount of sub points I have on my channel, I should have like 6 or 7 emotes, but I'm affiliate, so I've
Yeah.
just got 1.
So in that sense, I think literally the only justification towards that is like it makes Twitch more money. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, it does help the streamer. It helps Twitch. It helps the streamer. It helps everyone, except they definitely could have utilized it in a better way, I think. But it's more of just like, oh, we'll just hopefully if they have that many emotes, they'll like apply for partnership or something, to actually
Yeah.
be able to use those emote points.
And approving like more than 1 emote for a bunch of affiliates would be way more time consuming on their end.
Oh, definitely. Oh my god, yeah. The backlog when they first launched affiliates was like insane.
Sloth,
For
didn't you end up waiting like 2 weeks for your emote to get approved?
Oh God, yeah, it was really rough. I had people end up pulling some strings for me to get my emotes approved because I had
That's
been waiting
insane.
so long.
My gosh.
Yeah. Okay. So what happened was I submitted my first emote like basically immediately once they opened up emote submissions for affiliates. I had it ready to go at all the sizes and everything because I knew this was happening and I knew what the requirements were. So it was like good to go. I was ready. So about 30 minutes after they opened submissions, I submitted it and it got approved really fast. But there was a problem with the emote that I didn't notice until I posted it in someone's chat on my phone, which didn't have dark mode on it, and so I needed to fix it. So I fixed it and I resubmitted it, and it didn't get approved for like a week or something, and so I ended up. I could probably find the post, but I ended up posting this meme on Twitter, where it's like the 80s cartoon Wolverine where he's laying on a bed and he has his like hand on this picture frame, and I just found one where the picture was blank and I put the Slotho Ross emote on it, and someone who knew someone at Twitch saw it and they were like, oh, like I'll talk to them,
Oh
and
my god.
within a couple of hours all 3 of my emotes were approved. um So that's
That's
what
insane.
happened with that. Yeah.
That's pretty lucky though to get that help, honestly.
Yeah, I was very fortunate for sure. But yeah, I guess posting memes on Twitter will get you places when you need help.
It always comes down to the memes.
Yep. But yeah, I don't know. I think the affiliate program is really good, and like it does make Twitch a lot of money, but at the same time it makes it easier for smaller streamers like myself to earn more from this so that we can try to like make it more than just a hobby, and I think for that it's really good. Like the execution probably wasn't perfect, and
Oh, definitely.
I'm sure there are ways that they could improve it, but
Always, yeah. But
but
that's the thing, like even with it, they've done so much. Like even with all the negatives of it, there's so many more positives. So it's like, yeah, you can nitpick little things here and there, but like in the broader spectrum of things or the bigger scope, it's like it's helped so much with so many streamers. And same with Twitch too. I mean, goodness, I can't even imagine how much more money they're making off of affiliated streamers. Like it's
oh
absolutely
yeah,
insane.
yeah,
They brought in their income horizon by like 10 million times. You know what I mean? It's just crazy to think about. Like all the decisions they make, you're like, wow, that makes a lot of sense business wise, you know. Like they're smart with the way they handle their money and kind of figuring out how they can utilize every little piece they can pretty much.
definitely.
It's such a weird business concept in like in every single way where it's like, oh man, like we have people who do our work for us, you know, pretty much. Like they provide servers and such, but it's like, and there's so much more behind it too, but it's like they have people working for them constantly. It's like the biggest thing of passive income you could ever think of. It's kind of insane.
Definitely, yeah. Like they provide the infrastructure, the architecture, and the platform, but the actual streaming is basically just volunteers who earn them money.
Yeah, exactly. It's wild.
One thing that got announced today at the keynote address for TwitchCon is there are now going to be achievements for affiliates and partners, where like you do certain things and you unlock an achievement for it for your stream. And they said that if you meet all of the benchmarks for either the affiliate program or the partnership program, you will automatically be invited. And verbatim, they said guaranteed. Um, so I thought that that was really interesting. And I think that especially for someone like you who is an affiliate but is like on the cusp of partnership, that is a
Yeah.
really awesome program because previously they've been very
Hidden.
unclear about what their actual guidelines are, and like some
Yeah.
people get partnered where it's like kind of questionable to the average person who may not have
Yeah.
all the information, and other people who have a ton of subs and a ton of viewers just can't get partnered for whatever reason.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for that program. I think it'll be really cool, and we'll see how it pans out. But I think it's especially relevant for you, just because you broke 100 subs recently. You have
Mhm.
really strong viewership, and I'm sure that
Yeah.
you've probably passed a few of their benchmarks already. So, what is your take on the announcement of that program?
Like you said, and it's kind of the same with the affiliate program too. It's like in the broader spectrum of things, like yes, this is really good. You know, this is a really good thing. But then if you look at it from the Twitch point of view, again, it's like I feel like they already have this. Like this is what they have for employees already who are kind of like checking things off for streamers. Now they've just kind of publicized it in a way. So it's almost like they're taking less work off of them again in a way because it's like yeah, they're giving us a you know, a guideline to be able to see like okay, once I make this, like I'm going to be partnered. but they're also saying like, yeah, you no longer, for the employees of Twitch that are involved in like partnering streamers, they no longer have to even like really look at the stream. They just like look at, okay, you hit these benchmarks, here's partnership in a way. So it's like it's good for both Twitch and for casters because you know where you need to get to in order to hit their standards. And then for Twitch, it's easier for them to be able to partner people almost instantly because they don't actually have to even look into things because it automates the system where it's like, cool, they hit this benchmark. They have X amount, so they're a partner now. And it's like it's a system I feel like they already have in a way, but just not publicized.
Yeah, because it's been more of kind of like a gray area for the longest time. If
Yeah.
you ask anyone, like, hey, like, where were you at when you got partnered? Everyone's gonna give you a different answer.
Yeah.
And like, at least just in my experience talking to like my friends who are partnered. But
And it has to do with a lot of like growth as well. I mean,
Yeah.
they're probably changing their guidelines almost all the time. I feel like Twitch guidelines are a lot more lenient now than they were probably 2 years ago. So
definitely, because they used to ask for like 500 concurrent viewers, which
yeah,
they
exactly.
definitely don't anymore. But on the topic of TwitchCon and the keynote announcements, I was looking on Twitter earlier. Forgot to bring this up earlier. They're adding an actual like raid command to Twitch chat.
What?
So from what I saw on their Twitter post about it, you would type like /raid and then target in chat, and it's not with a bot, it's with actual Twitch. It'll automatically have you host them. And so even if you don't have like Streamlab alerts or something on your stream, it'll give a chat pop up saying that you're being raided, and it'll give like a live counter as people are coming in from the stream. It looks really cool.
That sounds really awesome. That sounds super cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for a lot of the new things coming to Twitch.
Oh, definitely. And like that's the thing, like them just providing more resources to casters and streamers, pretty much at any level. Now that they have affiliates, which is like a lot easier, obviously, to get in than partnership. It's gonna just constantly be this back and forth of like, the more Twitch gives us, the more we can give back to Twitch, the more Twitch can give back to us, which in turn is we can give to our viewers, which it helps everyone in a way. I don't think there's ever been something that's like taken away anything from kind of the Twitch experience. I think it's only really improved, which is really cool to see.
Definitely. I wanted to ask you too, because I have noticed in some of your variety gaming, I've seen you playing The Sims a couple times.
Yeah.
That's kind of like another nostalgia game for you.
Oh, definitely. I had like the OG Sims. Oh my god, the pixels. Sims was like so ridiculously insane. Like it was just so pixelated, but it was like so in depth too. That was one of the games I really enjoyed playing.
Yeah, and
Like
that
as an
first
OG
one,
game.
the first one only had
Yeah.
those 4 camera angles.
Yes. Oh my god. Dude, I love The Sims. I still play The Sims to this day, but I miss like the OG Sims sometimes. I had Sims on PC. I had Sims on my original Xbox, like when they were making Sims for for console. And I feel like I've had every version of The Sims ever made.
The one I played a lot was Sims Bustin' Out on the GameCube.
Yes. Oh my god. Dude, I swear I had all of the Sims, all the expansions, like every single Sim. I'm pretty sure I've played it all. That was amazing. I loved my GameCube. I wish I never got rid of it. It was it was incredible. That was like such a good system.
Yeah, I sold my GameCube at a garage sale, and I remember my mom was like, "You're gonna regret this. You play it all the time." But I was just like stoked we were having a garage sale and just like wanted to make money and was just selling everything. And I sold it for like 50
Yeah.
bucks, and I
Oh my
regretted it
god.
like a week later. I was like, "Fuck, I missed my GameCube."
Rip.
I know, rip hard.
On the topic of affiliate ship to partnership and things like that,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about your experience being a full-time streamer and kind of
Okay.
like what your path was to that point, and when you kind of first made the decision and realized that you were in a position to stream full time as your main source of income and everything. So can you talk a little bit about what that journey looked like
Yeah.
and how things are for you with it now?
Oh, definitely. It's funny you say like how did you know like you're ready to stream full time, and like thinking back on it, like I didn't. I had no clue. Um I don't want to say the only reason, because obviously, so okay, I started streaming in April 27th of last year. And then I streamed pretty consistently up until I moved. I was living in Tennessee at the time. I moved to Virginia. And after I got to Virginia, I got a job, and I was working really crazy hours, and I was tired all the time. I didn't have a lot of time to stream. And so I only streamed very rarely. And then my computer broke. I was streaming off of a laptop and threw a capture card to my console. My computer broke. So I was out of streaming for like months. I think it was like four or 5 months, I want to say, I didn't stream last year. So like I say, I've been streaming X amount of time, but really I don't count me really actually streaming until probably sometime this year. So like streaming consistently at least. So yeah, I was out of a computer, and then once my community actually got together and built me a PC and just like surprised me with it, like they just sent it to me, and I had a PC to stream off of, and it was insane. So I was streaming again off of my PC, but still I was working. I was in a relationship at the time. Like my time was so consumed. If I did stream, it was really short streams. So like working up to going full time, I didn't really stream that often. Like I probably averaged maybe like 20 viewers or something. And the one of the main reasons I went full-time streaming is because there was a few factors. Like obviously I always loved streaming. That was like a dream pretty much, for me, is to be able to stream full-time. But I never really saw it as like a possibility. Um, for me, I just know that I had some money saved up, and I got a job here in Florida. I moved to Florida from Virginia, and I got a job here, and then it didn't work out. I ended up hating the place and hating the management because it was like just kind of a ridiculous place to work. So I quit that job, and I was having difficulties finding a new job here. And then my sister one day was just like, "Hey, like why don't you just stream?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? There's no way I could make even enough money probably to pay my bills streaming." And she was like, "No, I think you could. I mean, you showed me how much money you've made before." And it was like, a couple $100 here and there, from streaming just casually, like very rarely, just randomly, pretty much. And I was like, yeah, maybe if I did stream more consistently, I could make more money to pay, to at least be able to make my bills every month. I never imagined I would go anything past that. Um, so it was like really scary to get into. It was like really freaky to think about kind of jumping into something so unknown, and like so like I knew I loved it, and I knew that was the only thing that was going to keep me going with it. And that's when I was just like, all right, I'm going to do this. And I just made a schedule and started streaming full time. And the first night, I used to be a nighttime streamer. Now I'm a daytime streamer. But the very first night that I streamed, I was playing Age of Empires, and someone came into my chat, and I had no clue who he was because I was so new to the AoE community. This was before I really knew anyone in the AoE community besides the few people in my stream. But he came in my chat, and his name was Carlini, and I was like playing some game. I was about to get offline, and he was like, "Do you do viewer games?" And I was like, "Yeah, we do viewer games all the time, but I'm about to get offline, so this is actually my last game." And then he like donated $100 to my stream, and I was like, "Holy!" And he was just like, "Will you play a viewer game now?" And I was like, "Oh my god!" So, and then everyone in my chat started freaking out because everyone, I guess, knew Carlini for being this like insane person that drops a lot of money onto streamers, AoE streamers. Um, And that night he ended up completely just like breaking me 100%. He donated like probably, I want to say close to like 3K in bits and donations just that night, and it was like absolutely insane. And he was just like, he just saw the passion that I had behind streaming, and he was like, I like to make people that are in the AoE community, full-time streamers. So that's really how I knew like this was even a possibility, pretty much. From that, I was gonna give it like, I want to say 2 months full-time streaming. And I was like, all right, after this 2 months, I guess we'll see how this goes, and if it's not working out, I will get a job here and I'll just work something out, because I have to be able to pay my bills. And he set me for like, for a while just from that one donation, and then it only kept getting better from there. So it's been insane, like just the growth and the experiences and the people I've met throughout this, what has it been, maybe 6 months now? I don't know, I started May 15th. So it's been wild. Like I never would imagine I'd be able to say, yeah, my full-time job is being a Twitch streamer. Like that's absolutely crazy, especially since I'm not partnered. And everyone looks at that and they're like, whoa, how do you full-time stream when you're not partnered? And it's honestly because my community believes in my stream so much and they want to support the stream and see where it goes. And I mean, that means more to me than anything, because like I don't have anything without my community, pretty much. And I really just value them a ton. So yeah, it's been wild. I'd be nowhere without my community that I've grown, and it's all thanks to them. So whoever's in this chat right now from my community, I love you guys. I love you so much. I'm so cheesy.
It's really awesome that you have such a strong support network from your community. I think that's something that every streamer strives for, so it's really awesome to see you have succeeded so much with it. And to be honest, you're someone I look up to a lot in that respect.
You're someone I look up to a lot, so that's cool. We're like reverse.
Oh, thanks. What are some of the things that you like most about full-time streaming?
I want to say like how chill it is. Like you can I rarely have a plan for the day. I kind of just wake up and get ready for stream and eat breakfast or whatever, and then I just sometimes even go and like pick up coffee and a sandwich or something, and I'll just hop on stream. And I usually start an IRL, and I just like kind of see where that goes for the day. And we probably spend almost like at least an hour a day, I want to say, in the beginning of my stream, just talking, like just me and my community. We just talk about random things, and they get to know me, I get to know them more. We get to discuss like how everyone's doing, and how everyone's day is going. And that's probably what I value most, is just connecting, being able to connect with my community and have it be nothing to do with games. Obviously after that we play games and we hang out and we chill and like just do whatever, but that's what means most to me, is just getting to know the people that I spend every day with. And that's definitely what I value the most as far as like full-time streaming. And then also going out in public and people ask me what I do, and I'm like, oh, I'm a Twitch streamer, and seeing the looks on their faces is kind of interesting as well. It's kind of odd.
I know some people just say they work for like Amazon's marketing team, because
Oh my god.
technically that's true, and it just simplifies things a little bit, I guess, instead of having to explain like, yeah, I play video games.
Yeah, that's actually a really good line. Like, I guess if you're talking to like old people, I don't know. That's like the only time I would think to bring it up. Otherwise, like, I don't have any sort of like weird shame or anything, or feel weird about talking about my stream. Just I don't know if it's just because me, like the type of person I am, or just because I just don't really care about what other people think. But I always just think it's an interesting, I've had very, very interesting conversations with people, and that was kind of the conversation starter. Because once I say, yeah, I'm a Twitch streamer, everyone is interested, and they're like, oh, what? Like, how does that work? How are you doing this? Like, are you famous? And I'm just like, like, I honestly don't bring it up. I like kind of purposely, I'm not like running around like, hey, I'm a Twitch streamer, you know what I mean? But when someone asks me, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a Twitch streamer, and they're just like, they always like freak out, and they're like super weird about it. Some people just don't even know what Twitch is, so it kind of depends on what audience you have. Oh, what's up, baggers? How are you? Welcome to the stream. I'm like treating this like my stream, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting, and I actually dated a guy briefly, like a few months back, and he was like always talking to his friends and like talking to other people, like, oh yeah, my girlfriend's a Twitch streamer and she has like X amount of followers, and like he bragged about my Twitch stream more than I did to like other people, you know what I mean? It was like kind of a weird dynamic. So it's like it's made it weird, like, oh man, who can I actually like trust in my life? Because there's people that like me for me, and then there's people that like me just because they think I'm interesting because I Twitch stream, It's like kind of weird to think about, because I'm a normal person. Just because I happen to do something that's a little bit more out of the box as far as my career goes, is, I don't know, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I think people who have success with just about anything run into, is they start to question what someone's like intentions are when they make friends with them or like have any kind of interaction with them. It's like, oh, are they interested in me because I do
Yeah.
this, or are they interested in me as a person? So I
That's why I
definitely
have no friends.
that feels bad, man. You do have friends though, Lou. Come on.
I have online friends, yeah. It's funny because like I'm closer to my Twitch stream than I am like with my family. So that's kind of weird too. The whole thing, when you think about it from an outside perspective, like it's really fucking weird. So like I never judge someone if they like think of me weird, or if they're just like they have some sort of first take or like notion of like who I am or what I'm doing, if they're like sketched out by it, because like Twitch is really something you can't understand unless you're in a community. Like unless you're using Twitch actively and you're chatting and you understand the dynamic of Twitch, you're never going to get like what Twitch is. Even when I first started streaming, like I had no clue like what Kappa was. People would say Kappa, and I was like, I have no fucking clue what this means. I didn't even know that people called dogs doges until I started Twitch streaming. Like there were so many little like online like meme things I didn't understand, and like just everything I just did not get at all. Like I went the longest time without knowing what a pog champ was. Like I was like, what is that? I just never questioned it.
There's definitely a whole subculture with the website.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is something you have to kind of experience yourself before you can really come to understand it. One question I really want to ask you is
Ooh.
what inspired Boo Ross to come out of your closet and do a
Oh,
Just
God.
Dance stream, and will he ever make a return appearance?
Oh man, I knew this was gonna come up at some point. So we had been thinking a while, like me and my booterators is what we call 'em, my mods, my booterators were like talking a while about like, oh, what should we do for 100 subs? Like we have to have some sort of cool celebration because that's a huge milestone, So, um, one day Yellow, one of my mods, yeah, there he is in chat. He was like, he posted a video of another streamer doing Just Dance, doing like a really hardcore Just Dance stream, and I was like, damn, she's really good at this game. I was like, I could never dance like that, and they were like, dude, you should do a Just Dance stream, and I was like, I remember saying like, yeah, if they had Just Dance on PC, I would totally play it because I really I didn't know they had it on PC, so I was just like, yeah, totally. You know what I mean? And then yeah, I was like, I think they do. And then he like linked a Just Dance Steam copy, and I was like, fuck. Like now I had to do Just Dance for my 100 subs. And then that was the plan. We were just gonna do a Just Dance stream, and like that was the plan. Pretty much until we were streaming something else and talking about Bob Ross, because Bob Ross is like huge in my stream. And then one of my viewers bought me a Bob Ross costume just randomly and mailed it to me. And like I got this Bob Ross costume and I was like, damn, like what am I gonna use this Bob Ross costume? So I was like, I know, I will make it a part of my Just Dance stream so that I won't feel as awkward doing Just Dance. Like just me, you know, I would just feel weird. So me as a Bob Ross doing Just Dance was a lot more comfortable for some reason than me as just me doing Just Dance. So that's how it came about, and I thought it'd be pretty hype. So we added it to like our command. We're like, at 100 subs, Boo's gonna cosplay as Bob Ross and do a Just Dance stream. So it was hyped for a really long time, and it was definitely very worth it. The gifts that came out of that were just extraordinary. But yeah, I think I'll definitely pull them out of the closet once in a while. For different things. I was already thinking like Age of Empires 2 with Bob Ross, just like, oh, let's place a happy little house here, you know? Like it just fits so well with so many things. Yeah, Booper999 fan was my 100th sub. There you go.
He stole it out from under me. Feels bad, man.
Exactly. It was so close, Slob. So close.
It's all right.
Hella closet.
I'll shoot for 1000th or something.
Yeah, there you go. It's so funny every time I get to some milestone, like people in my chat fight over who's gonna be like when I hit 3K followers. Like someone unfollowed and followed to steal the 3K follow away from someone else, and they got in this huge fight about it, like in my stream. Like it's hilarious. It always happens for some reason.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you like really simple questions about a number of games that you've streamed, and just like
Okay.
in a couple of sentences, describe your experience with the game
Oh
and the
no.
things you
Okay.
liked most about it and the things you liked least about it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna go first. Subnautica.
I can never find any fucking diamonds. What the fuck? I was raging on that the other day. That's what I would dislike about the game. I can never find the diamonds. And I need diamonds to make stuff. But anyway, that would be what I dislike. Oh, and it's really scary as well when you get into deep waters, because I have a huge fear of water, like open water, ocean. And then what I like about it is that it's super fucking chill. Like I just turn on a really chill playlist and we just farm for resources and build off of our little base that we have. So yeah, I love Subnautica. It's an awesome game. I definitely want to continue to play that. Definitely.
Okay. The Last of Us.
Oh man, The Last of Us, I didn't like the ending of it. Ah, I was so disappointed. I wanted the dude to die. So I forgot his name now. Man, I played that a while ago. I wanted the guy. I thought the dude should have been dead. And like I ended that game and everyone was like, "So what'd you think of it?" And I was like, "What do you mean? This is so unrealistic. The guy should have died. Like he was bleeding out for days. Like he definitely should have died." Like I was so upset by the end of it. But anyway, besides that, the story of that game was just amazing. Um that was like such a good game. I played that for like days straight and was just so happy with it. I got pretty good at sniping, and I'm not good at sniping in like any other game. So that was an achievement for me. But yeah, I was kind of disappointed with the ending. Sorry, I totally spoiled that for you guys. He doesn't die. He doesn't die. I'm sorry.
Are you looking forward to The Last of Us 2?
Oh heck yeah, dude. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Especially because I saw the trailer for it like a while ago. Damn, that was like last year. I saw the trailer for it. I don't know when it comes out, but yeah, the trailer was amazing
I
for it, and there's a bunch of speculation behind that, like what the story is going to be like and such. And I mean, I'd be happy with anything, honestly. It's just such a good game.
I'm wondering if it'll come out next year. I have a feeling it will, but
I hope so. I hope so. 2018 sounds like a good time frame. I mean, they released that they were making it, or that it was in existence last year, so that would make sense.
okay. Next up is The Forest.
Oh my god. Um, I've only played that game like 3 times. I would say negatives about it. I always get eaten by the cannibals. I can never protect myself, so they always get me. They just gank me, man. Like I'll just be I light a bonfire and they're attracted to fire, of course. So they see me and they just come in herds and like just like fuck me up. So and drag me into their hole. Besides that, I am so excited to actually be able to get into that game and finish it because I really want to know what the ending is. Because the plot of that game is like you crash land on an island and it's you and your son and it's filled with like cannibals, like these cannibalistic tribes, and they're trying to they steal your son away from you. So the entire game you're trying to find your son. And I know there's an ending to that game. So I really want to get to the ending. I heard it's really sad. So I'm excited to see where that goes.
Okay. Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight. I'm straight garbage at that game. um, I've also played that game quite a few times. My character was like the Dwight guy. Um, and yeah, I'm pretty terrible at it. I'll always be like, it's a game where you have to have good timing, and I have like no sense of timing whatsoever. So I'll be like staring at my chat, just trying to talk to my chat, and then I'll miss like hitting the thing to activate the thing on time or whatever, and it just like explodes on me, and then I get eaten by the spider thing, and it's the spider tree. It's like yeah, I feel like my teammates are always working against me as well in that game. I'm just straight garbage at the game, so like my teammates always make it out, and I just like die to the monster in the background. And I'm even worse at being the monster in that game because I can never find anyone. Like I played as like the enemy one time and everybody escaped within like 5 minutes and like I couldn't see anything. I think the screen was too dark or I'm just like actually blind, but I was so bad at that game. But I mean it's a fun game overall. I'm just like not skilled with it.
PUBG.
My character's name is Asian Bob Ross in PUBG, and I'm also pretty garbage at that game because I'm not used to playing shooters on a keyboard and mouse setup. You know, I was a console gamer forever, so I'm way more comfortable with playing with controller than I am with a keyboard and mouse. So that's a game I'm still trying to like overcome my abilities in because I'm pretty bad at it. But I love Asian Bob Ross, and it's a fun game. It's super fun, especially when you play with friends. It's like a very, very good community game. Definitely.
Destiny.
Oh man, Destiny was like my main game back in the day. That was the game I played all the time because it was just a game I enjoyed. It was a shooter. It was awesome. So I would say I wasn't really into like leveling up in that game. I didn't really care about my stats to be honest, which is like the whole purpose of Destiny. But I played Destiny strictly for like the PvP of the game. I just used it as my like outlet for a PvP shooter. And I was that's really how I played it. I treated that as like a community game, and I love doing that. I think I completed successfully like one raid, and one of my friends I used to talk to all the time, he was like a pro Destiny player. Like he got invited out by Bungie to like for just like nights of partying and stuff because he was so good at the game and he hit so many like he unlocked so many things or hit like a bunch of like world records or something crazy like that or something. So he helped me through a few of the raids. He was a cool dude, and so that was always fun to play with him and stuff. But I haven't played that game in forever. I am looking forward to Destiny 2 though. I'm gonna get it on PC.
I am planning on getting it on PC as well. I never played Destiny 1, but I'm really looking forward to Destiny 2.
I went pretty ham on Destiny when it first came out. I actually got the white PS4 that came with Destiny way back when.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
How about Outlast 1 and 2?
Outlast was such a cool game for me because it kind of like kicked off a lot of my stream. I hit 100 followers streaming Outlast, so it was like a huge milestone game for me. It was also my first horror game I've ever played, I want to say. That was at least like that, like a horror game where you can't defend yourself, where like it's just like running and hiding simulator pretty much. um, so it was a cool game. It was really really terrifying though. I had many nights where I was just like couldn't fall asleep after playing that game. And Outlast 2, I have yet to beat it, but that one's even more terrifying. I don't know if like my scare factor, if that's what you want to call it, has gone like up or down or whatever, but I get frightened way more easily now for some reason. So that's a hard one to get through so far. And it's all like it's like religion based and it's things I would actually be like fearful for if it ever happened in real life. Like the first Outlast, I'm never gonna be in an insane asylum, like an abandoned insane asylum. But the second one is based around like a bunch of like hillbilly people that are like super religious and just are a part of like a giant cult, and like that's like real time shit. You know what I mean? Like this shit's going down in real life right now somewhere. So that's a little bit more scary, I guess. I'll probably still never be in that situation personally, but I guess it's like a little more real life. People are absolutely wild. They're crazy.
Yeah, no kidding. Abzu?
Oh, Abzu, that's just like tripping balls game pretty much. You like you're on shrooms playing Abzu. We beat that game in one night and yeah, it was just like super drugged out game. Like it's supposed to be like a really relaxing game. You're just a scuba diver and you like go through and it's supposed to be very beautiful and you just look at the sights and there's like very minimal amount of puzzles. You kind of have to solve them, but it's very simple things and yeah, and I just felt like I was tripping balls the whole time pretty much. But it was good. It was a fun game. We got a bunch of good clips from that game where I'm just like talking about drugs a lot because that's what it reminded me of.
Why is depth so terrible?
That game is so terrible because the servers on it, at least for the multiplayer servers, uh, I'm pretty garbage at that game, and I was also playing with 3 people who somehow found out I was streaming it. So they were playing against me in the multiplayer version of that game, and they're also in my chat, and they're like, yeah, all 3 of us have like world records in this game, and we're like we play this game all the time, and that's really the only group of people that depth caters to pretty much. Like you have to be a pro at that game to still be like playing that game pretty much. And we just got wrecked. There's a weapon in that game called a bang stick. And everybody was using bang sticks on me, so that was not fun as well.
And
That's why it's so bad.
what has your experience been like with streaming in the IRL section versus playing a game?
It's a lot weirder. I could say that. You get a lot more trolls. You know what? It's not even that I get trolls all too much. Like, yeah, we'll get a random person that says something very inappropriate, like the first comment ever in your stream. But we get more of people who like just jump in and just ask like, hey, some really random deep question like that they expect you to like give them advice on or um I don't know, like go into to depth about in this chat. And I used to actually like do that. Like cuz like to me I value conversations. I value getting to know people. I value like people's perspectives on things. So like any sort of conversation you can get me into or like ask me my opinion or something, I'll always be down to talk and have like a like back and forth dialogue of just talking about something cool because I always learn from that and get new perspectives and such. So like I'm always down to kind of to talk about things in my chat, but like just the stuff that they ask you is just like they're trolling you but in like the worst way possible, that it's just like so negative and it goes on forever and it's just like you can't give them an answer. They just keep going with it and it just gets really annoying after a while. So that's pretty much the people you'll find in IRL, um, pretty much. But I've also on the other side of that met a lot of cool people from IRL that you know are subs in my stream and are active in my stream now. So you also meet very cool people and like I'll hear from a lot of those people like, dude, you're the first like normal stream I found, and like you're actually really cool, and I like your community a lot, and it's cool. It's cool to hear that. So it's either people that just suck to be around, or people that are actually really cool. It's never like in between sort of thing.
Yeah, I've definitely experienced a mixed bag playing certain games. Are there any other games that are coming out either this year or next year that you're really looking forward to playing, or games that you have scheduled that you're planning on playing yet that your community may not know about?
Yeah, actually I have a lot of games. I have so many games in my Steam library that I'm just ready to play. I just need to install and just start playing them. But yeah, as far as games coming out, Destiny 2 I know is already out but not for PC yet. So yeah, I'm gonna plan on playing that one. I don't think I was really like down to play that one as much until I actually became pretty good friends with a Destiny 2 streamer, and that's like all he just mainly streams. Like that's it. That's all he streams pretty much. And he was like, "Dude, I can help you kind of improve in the game and do some raids and such." So I think that would be a pretty cool game to play. Yeah, Yellow wants me to play Goat Simulator. That's definitely going to be a new one for us. Um, we have a lot of old games that we've been gifted that I'm just super excited to try out. And that's one of the cool things about streaming is like everyone shares their games with you and like wants you to play things. And it's cool to me for me to try out new games. And pretty much my almost my entire Steam library is made up of games people have gifted me. So you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for that. Because now we get to like we have so many games we have to play. Like so many. Yeah, Ollie's saying, when will you play Warhammer Total War 2, Rome Total War, Heroes of Might, and Magic 3? Like there's and Nuclear Dawn. Yeah, we have so many games. So many games. Like it's incredible how we're only maining like I want to say 3 or 4 games right now, and we have probably like at least 30 that we have yet to play that are in my library ready to play. So
That's
lots of stuff.
definitely a good problem to have as a variety streamer,
Definitely.
I think.
Oh, for sure. And that's what's cool. Like when you're a variety streamer and you're doing it successfully, when you have a successful variety stream, like no matter what game you play, you're gonna have people who want to watch you for you, and they like to experience new things with you as well. So like when you play a new game, people want to see like how you react to that game or what you think about the game, or if they've never seen the game they're excited to see it too. So it's kind of a cool thing to experience new things with your stream, especially all these people I'm so close to and care about, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, we are right around the 90-minute mark, so I think we'll end it there.
Cool.
It was a pleasure having you on. Thank you so much for being here. Is there anything that you'd like to plug, like your Twitter, your Twitch channel, anything like that before we end things here?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could plug all my random social media, but I think before I go, I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me as a guest. Like, I love podcasts. I love interviews. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and anything that has to do with streaming and gaming and reaching out to the community, it means a ton to me. So thank you guys so much for having me. Thank you so much for everybody that's come here from my stream. I know it's like very different time zones for a lot of you guys. So thank you so much for staying up so late just to hear me talk about myself and my stream and my life on a podcast. Like, that means the world. So thank you guys so much. And whoever was new, it was so nice to meet you as well. I hope you can stop by the stream and say what's up. But yeah, my Twitch is Frosted Caribou. My Instagram's Frosted Caribou Gaming. My Twitter's at Frosted Caribou. What else do I have? My YouTube's Frosted Caribou. My Snapchat is Frosted Boo. If you want to snap me, I think that's all I have as far as social media goes. We also have a Discord. I think my bot should be on. So if you go to my Twitch channel and just ! Discord, you can get into our Discord as well. So yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was a
Thanks for
pleasure having you.
me.
Yeah,
It was
absolutely.
super fun. And I wish you guys like all the amazingness for your next upcoming podcast. I'll definitely be a listener for sure.
Thank you. We appreciate that. We've got some exciting guests lined up for the next couple of weeks, I think. Joey, is there anything you'd like to add before we end things here?
Not really, but thank you for being on. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. It was super fun.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We will be live next Friday, right around 6 p.m. Central, with Stay Plus. If you guys enjoyed the podcast, I'd really appreciate you following. We do also have a community Discord and a Twitter that you can follow as well. But yeah, go follow up Frosted Caribou and follow the podcast as well. And we will see you guys next Friday at 6 p.m. Central Time with Stay Plus.